What is up, YouTube? Michaela Hayden here with another video. Today we're going to be looking at something interesting, something that I like to call the most average budget ever. We're going to see what the most average budget looks like, taking into account the average spend of all of the most common budget items. So we're going to jump in, we're going to fill out this sheet, and then see what the total expenses look like for this most average budget ever. Let's get into it. So looking at our spreadsheet right here, it's pretty simple. We just have a few of the most common items that you would spend money on every month, and we're gonna do some Googling to see what the averages are for these items across the US. So mortgage and rent, we're gonna pop open another tab here and look up what is the average mortgage / rent payment in the US. If we look here, according to Apartments List, average rent is $1,372, and it looks like the average home payment is about $2,886. For the sake of this video, let's go with rent, and we'll say that most people are probably renters, so we're gonna go with 1,372. 1,372. So first number there, let's modify this just so people don't get confused what we're talking about. Rent. Another thing I should mention is this budget's gonna be for just a single person, and so we're not going to take into account any other family members if this is part of a family, but things like phone bill, we're going to be looking at one phone, or car payment, one car. Phone payment is going to be for one phone as well, things like that. So we're looking at what this average budget will be for a single person. So we got rent first. Let's change this to renter's insurance since we're doing rent. So average renter's insurance. Renter's insurance per month. If we take a look here, renter's insurance usually isn't super expensive, so $12 per month looks about right. We'll pop that in there. Car insurance. Let's pop that in here. Car. Average car insurance as of January 2024. We're looking at $165 per month. Average cost of a minimum coverage policy is that. So I'm gonna say most people aren't gonna have full coverage. We can go somewhere in between. We can take the average of these two numbers. So add 50, because that's the difference, is 100, so the average is 50. We'll go with 115 for that payment. Health insurance. Let's go health insurance. So for an individual, which is what we said we're looking at, for $56 a month, $456 a month. Let's just double check that. Average monthly cost, yeah. And you can see exclusive provider, and there's some other options, but we're just gonna go with the 466. Or 56. Phone bill. Let's see what this one is. Phone bill. Oh, I've got to get rid of the insurance. So average phone bill per month. I The average monthly cost of a cell phone plan is $144. This adds up to that. I believe that's talking about the cost of the service as well. I think what we'll end up doing here is we'll combine our two sections here. So 144, we'll put that in here, and then we can just get rid of our phone payment. We'll assume the phone payment's part of the phone bill. So we can just get rid of this row altogether. Internet. There's a lot of different service providers for internet, but prices have been going up and people do require a lot more throughput for their internet, especially with people working from home a lot more these days. So it looks like $75 a month. That sounds about right, between 60 and 90 for most households. So we'll go with the $75. Groceries. I'm interested to see what this one is. We typically try to stay under $500 a month, but let's see what the average is. I said 500 and I typed it. We're looking for groceries though. Average grocery bill per month looks like it's pretty close to that same range, $415 per person. I guess we are two people, my wife and I, and we spend less than $500 usually. So I guess we're on the lower end of that spectrum. So for one person, $415 sounds like the average. And then utilities. Average utility bill per month. These are things like electricity, gas, other things. So we're looking at $429 per month. However, average utility bill depends on many factors: size, usage, environment. I'd be willing to bet this is more for homes. Let's see if we can narrow this down for apartments. Yeah, this looks like a much better estimate in my opinion. So we're looking at one bedroom apartment. Utilities will probably be in the $133 range. So let's throw that into the spreadsheet. $133. Gas, we're looking at for your vehicle, of course. So gas bill per month. We're not looking at natural gas. Let's see. Those are all. What is the average spend on filling up with gas per month? Let's see. So spend between 150 and 200 on gas. Number Again, I don't know if that is gas for your car, although this one has a picture of someone filling up their gas tank, and it looks like it's the same numbers. So let's go right in the middle and do 175. $175 a month for gas. And then car payment. Let's look up that. Average car payment per month. Cool. We're looking at new cars, that much for used cars. Let's take the average, let's say $625. Jump right in the middle, assuming people can either have new or a used car. So $625, and that'll be it for our budget there. So what are we looking at here? Total expenses came out to $3,522. That is per month. We'll say up here, average budget per month. And what does that amount to? So that's a monthly salary of $3,522. Or if we want to do hourly wage, we can do a quick little math expression here. So equals, we'll do let's see, so if you work 40 hours a week times well, first we're going to want to do this number, divide that by 40-hour week times 4 weeks in a month. So essentially 160 hours of working, and we'll divide that. So a $22 hour job is going to be enough to pay these monthly expenses. Let's go ahead and format this a little bit just so that it fits in. But as we can see here, these are the averages. We just looked these up on Google, so they may not be exact, and this is averaged across all the states with all the different prices. There's a lot of variation from coast to coast, so you could see drastically different numbers. If you're in California, for instance, this may be quite a bit higher as opposed to somewhere in the middle of the country where things are a lot cheaper. But that total is $3,522 for total expenses for this most average budget per month, and an hourly wage of $22 an hour would be sufficient to pay for this. But that is it for this budget. I thought this was an interesting little experiment to see how much things cost on average as far as budgeting goes. I know a lot of times we'll create a budget based on what our earning already is, but we don't take into account kind of what the average spend people typically have on these things. So this could give you an indication of where you might be spending more than average or less than average, and you can kind of move those one way or another to save some money or put money into things that maybe you're not putting enough money into. Things like living conditions that make a big difference on your quality of life. If you're not spending quite as much on that, but more on entertainment, then maybe cut spending on entertainment and boost those living expenses. So maybe get a better apartment, I don't know. But this also shows you kind of what kind of money you should be trying to make if you want to live kind of the typical lifestyle that most people are meeting these days. And that came out to that $22 an hour wage, or roughly $3,500 a month salary. And these numbers, again, are averages. They're not going to be the same for everybody, and they're based on a single person living on their own in a one-bedroom apartment. So if you have a home or a bigger family, if it's more than just yourself, then again, these numbers could be quite a bit different and quite a bit more, especially if you have a family and you are living in a home as opposed to an apartment. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video and found it informative. I thought it was an interesting video to make, and I had a lot of fun doing it. But if you guys enjoyed it, please hit that thumbs up button. If you had any comments you wanted to make about it, please put those down below. And if you guys are new here, as always, subscribe so that you can see more videos like this and improve your personal finance situation. Anyways, thank you guys a lot for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.